shaped piece of metal, coming in different sizes, made of different metals, embellished with various images and patterns. What is it? A piece of paper, perhaps with some images or designs, but what's money? Going back, maybe beads, fur pelts, leather. What is money? A medium of exchange to facilitate the procuring of goods and services? When was money first used? The earliest coin, thought to be the shekel, was in use about 5,000 BCE, before the Common Era. For us, money can be a piece of metal or a piece of paper that has value because society, us, a group of people, has decided to give power to a story that gives value to money. And we've all agreed to accept the story and the meaning and the message. Our society has agreed that one piece of paper, 6 1/8 inches by 2 5/8 inches, has a different value and meaning than another piece of paper of the same size and shape. Money is more than a piece of paper or a piece of metal because we have created and accepted a story that gives it worth, meaning, and power. And our story tells us that money has an important social function, facilitating the giving and receiving of goods and services, helping us get what we need to live. In today's world, we see that money functions in many other ways. Credit cards, finance apps, electronic transfers, investments, creating more money with no tangible product or service. We have Bitcoin and non-fungible tokens and other means of exchange and trading and creating wealth. Our story about money and what it is and how it functions is accepted by society at large, and so money has power. It's an indicator of worth. It's a measurement of the value of goods and services and labor. We associate money with other things too, like well-being. We associate money with security. We associate money with status. We put the pictures of people we consider important on our money to give money more status. And our society is having lots of trouble with the images on our money because where are the images of women and people of color? Well, who we put on our money involves the status of those to be added and the value of the money. And it may imply diminished status for those whose images are already on our money, so it's very complicated. The images on money convey messages about culture, about history, about power. Now, in the story we heard from Matthew, Jesus asks, whose the image is on the coin? Because he knows that this image is about more than just an imprint on a piece of metal. The image and the coin itself convey messages about power, worth, and loyalty, and what story is controlling the life and behavior of the society. A coin with the image of Caesar makes a statement endorsing that power and control and loyalty and devotion are bestowed upon Caesar and the Roman Empire. The empire that is suppressing, extorting, and oppressing the Jews. But Jesus doesn't say, pay your tax, don't pay your taxes. He doesn't say, don't pay. Don't support this system of abuse. He doesn't say it. Don't fund the Roman military and its war machine. He doesn't say it. That's a message I'd like to hear. I wish he had said that. Especially these days, with war and violence erupting around us and around the world, and much of the weaponry paid for with money stamped United States of America. And Jesus doesn't say, pay your taxes. That's something else I want him to say. I want him to say, pay your taxes, Fortune 500 companies and Forbes 400 billionaires. Pay your taxes, all your taxes. No loopholes, no offshore escapes. This week, the current administration announced it was going after unpaid taxes. Apparently, taxes for 2021 were $688 billion short. You know what we could do with that $688 billion? These are taxes owed but unpaid. It's the largest shortfall ever. And so the IRS is going after that money, targeting high-income taxpayers. Yeah. I want Jesus to shout, pay your taxes, especially you wealthy people, so we can have well-paid teachers and well-funded schools and more money for the arts and libraries and parks and recreation and more money for healthcare and emergency first responders and more money for the internet and computers where they're woefully lacking and more money for sustainable energy and public transportation and so much more. Pay those taxes. But Jesus doesn't say that. We're told that he says, and this is thought to be an authentic, actual teaching of the historical Jesus. Give to Caesar what is Caesar's, and to God what is God's. Well, what is God's? Is the name of God on any deed or on any articles of incorporation? What is God's? Creation. Every tree, rock, and river. The sky, the sun, the planets, space, the mountains and seas, every single species, every life form, it's all the handiwork of God in the creation story in Genesis. What's outside the reality of God? What's beyond the scope of the imagination of divine love? Nothing. So what's actually Caesar's? Nothing. And not only that, specifically Genesis tells us the earthling, the human, each and everyone, is made in the image of God. The coin is stamped with Caesar, but we are stamped with God. So we are God's, even Caesar. In our story, there's no power greater than that of God. Everything is God's. We are all of God. The earth, the cosmos, all of God, all in God, all part of God. So Jesus bears witness to a unity. God is all. He's confronted by two factions. One of those factions that ask him this question, they want paying taxes to Caesar. And one of those factions is against paying taxes to Caesar. So they're trying to entrap him. So whatever he answers, he's going to make one of the groups mad. But he doesn't satisfy either one. He rejects dualism and polarization. He rejects the power of empire. He shows us that the gospel, the claim of God, the beloved community affirms the unity of reality. In our age of separation, factions, polarization, and dualism, our commitment to Jesus may very well put us at odds with all the factions around us. The radical unity of the reality of God undermines all partisan claims and polarizing agendas. And what of money? So often a tool of partisanship and polarization. The Bible tells us that the love of money is the root of all evil. It does not tell us that money is evil. Money is of God too. Money is intended to be a tool in service to the hopes and dreams of God for beloved community. Money is a tool to be used to see that everyone has what they need, that all are fed and clothed and safely housed, that all receive needed health care and education and inspiration for the spirit through the arts. Money is a tool that we are to use to create a just society and to promote spiritual health and well-being. Using our money as a tool of divine love means investing in radical efforts for justice and peace. Now, in the next few weeks at church, we'll be given the opportunity to make a financial pledge to the church for the coming year. Trinity people can pledge to Trinity, Lakewood people can pledge to Lakewood. And this money represents our joyful acceptance of our place in the reality of God, stamped with God's image. Our giving represents our affirmation that all is of God. We are giving to God what is already God's. For all that we have and all that we are is a gift from the hand of divine love. And we give this money as a tool to be used by the church to make a witness to the all-encompassing realm of divine love. When we use money as a tool to support the reality of divine love, we send the message that every person is beloved and marked with God's image, regardless of how much money they have or how much money they make. Each and every life, human and other than human, holy and sacred. We make our witness to the abundance entrusted to us when the society around us leverages scarcity and fear for control. We make our witness that the earth is not here to be abused in service of greed and extractive capitalism. In the church, we use our money as a tool to witness to the egalitarian love of God for all people, all creation, unconditionally, eternally. Give to God what is God's. And what is God's? All of it. All of who we are and what we have. All the money we have. So we are to use our money as a tool to manifest love and justice in the world. Like a paintbrush, creating an image of well-being and peace, like a hammer and saw, creating a protective dwelling, like a computer, messaging the world, give to God what is God's. We use our money to invest in the reality of God and the work of love in this world. Last week I read about Chuck Feeney, who lived frugally and gave away billions of dollars to charities, universities, and institutions, all anonymously. That's certainly a wonderful example of using money as a tool, but I imagine most of us will never have billions of dollars to give away. Yet, we can still make a difference. We listened to a story told by Rita Nakashima Brock in the sermon, "The Courage to Choose, the Commitment to Being Chosen." She tells us, an ordinary woman once lived in a small town near Modesto, California. She was not famous, powerful, or influential. I was told this is true about her. She was the kind of person we call a good neighbor. She was friendly, liked by her neighbors, and she was good to her family. When the United States entered the Second World War, she supported our government until California Supreme Court Justice Earl Warren signed an order requiring all U.S. citizens of Japanese ancestry to be interned in relocation camps. Many of this woman's neighbors were Japanese Americans. She knew them and loved them as her friends. She went to Sacramento and she lobbied the legislators. She wrote to the president to try to stop the camps and the government confiscation of Japanese property. She couldn't move the powerful and the famous. She was a lone nobody. The Disciples of Christ Church was the only official church body to protest the order to intern Japanese American citizens. So this lone woman bought all the Japanese homes and farms in her town for $1 each. And she watched her friends be taken away. And when the camps were closed, when the Japanese who survived had no homes left, when their lands were stolen by our government, this woman's neighbors were lucky. She gave her friends and neighbors back their homes and land so that they might live. What a difference we will see in our lives and in the world when we give to God what is God's. Our hearts, our minds, our lives, and our money. Amen.
Amen.